Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. I hope you have learned the previous lesson. I have taken up to uh, like lines up to 130. Okay. The last part I'll read. Okay. That is what Shylock says. Why? Look you, how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames that you have stained me with. Supply your present wants and take no doit of usance for my monies, and you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer. Okay, let me ask a question. What were the shames which stained Shylock? Shylock says that he is ready to forget the shames that Antonio has stained him with. And what were the shames that Shylock refer here? Do you remember? Yes, can you say? Shylock is referring to the insults hurled on him by Antonio, such as speaking abusively of him and his money lending, then spitting on him and his gabardine, kicking him, calling him a dog, and ridiculing the Jews. Okay, these are some of the insults or some of the shames that Antonio has stained Shylock with. Okay, so he says that he is ready to forget all this and supply him with the present want. And what is the present want referred here? Or what is meant by the present wants? The present wants refer to the immediate need of Antonio. Present wants, immediate need of Antonio. What is the immediate need of Antonio? The 3,000 ducats to provide for Bassanio's trip to Belmont to woo Portia. And okay, and then finally he says, this is kind I offer. He says that he is ready to give him 3,000 ducats, and this is the kindness I offer. What is the kindness? He says that he does not want even a pie as interest. He usually takes a high rate of interest, but he says that he does not want even a pie as interest from Antonio. Okay, so I hope you remember. See the next part. This were kindness. So Bassanio says that this were kindness. Okay, so Bassanio admits that, of course, this is an act of kindness. Shylock, this kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary, seal me there, your single bond, and in a merry spot. If you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off and taken, in what part of your body pleaseth me. See, Antonio gives some condition. So he's again he says, yes, this kindness will I show. So Shylock tells Antonio and Bassanio that he will show this kindness. And then he adds that, go with me to a notary. Okay, so he asked, Shylock asked Antonio to go with him to a notary. And see, have you heard this before? Who is a notary? Who is a notary? Notary is a lawyer who has the authority to execute official and legal dealings and agreements. Okay, so he has the authority to make a legal document. That's why Shylock tells Antonio to go to the notary. So notary is a lawyer or a legal officer or a lawyer who has the authority to execute official and legal dealings and agreements. I hope you understood. So he says, go with me to a notary, seal me there. So he asked him to go with him to a lawyer, and there, what he has to do, seal me there, your single bond, and in a merry spot. So there he has to sign a single bond. What he means by saying single bond? Here he means to say that he is the only one signatory in that bond. Okay, a document will be made by the lawyer, and who has to sign it? Is it Bassanio? No. Then who has to sign it? It is Antonio. So only Antonio has to sign. That's why your single bond. So Antonio is the only one signatory. Okay, so seal me there, your single bond, and in a merry spot. And then he adds that it is a merry spot. It's just for a joke. He will be including this also. See what it is. If you repay me not on such a day, in such a place. So he has told that Antonio has told that he will be repaying the money within 3 months. So if the money is not repaid on such a day, that is the end of the third month, if he cannot repay in the specified date or in the stipulated time, what happens? If you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums, that means that particular sum, the sum of money that is involved in this transaction, in such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be cut off and taken, in what part of your body pleaseth me. See the terrible condition. But he says, according to Shylock, he says that he is adding this as a merry spot, just for a joke. So he says that he'll just add this also in the document. What is that? If he does not give the money in the or repay the money in the stipulated time, the forfeiture, okay, the penalty, let the forfeit be nominated. So the forfeiture will be, the penalty will be what? An equal pound of your fair flesh. So the forfeiture, if he forfeit the bond, or if he break the bond, that means if he doesn't pay back the money in 3 months, Shylock will have the right to take a pound of Antonio's flesh. Okay, he will have the right to cut off and take a pound of flesh from where? What part of your body pleaseth me? The part of Antonio's body that which pleaseth him. That means the part that Shylock likes. If Shylock says that he wants the flesh from his thigh, okay, or if he says that he wants that 1 pound of flesh from his chest, he has to give from the chest. Okay, so this is why he says he has to give, or Shylock will have the authority or will have the right to take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Okay, the part where Shylock likes. So this is the condition. So Antonio has to sign a bond document which stipulates that the forfeiture or the penalty to be paid will be a pound of flesh from any part of Antonio's body. I hope you understood. This is the condition. Okay. Antonio, content in faith, I'll seal to such a bond and say there is much kindness in the Jew. So Antonio says, okay, I'm satisfied, content in faith. So he says he is certainly satisfied. I'll seal to such a bond. So he says he is ready to sign in such a bond and say, and after that he says that he will say that the Jew is a kind man, or the Jew is capable of kindness. Okay, so this is what Antonio says. Antonio is confident. Okay, so or you can say overconfident. That's why he is ready to sign in such a treacherous bond. Shylock says that it is for a merry joke or just for a fun. He is or including this condition. Bassanio, you shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'll rather dwell in my necessity. So what does Bassanio reply? Bassanio replies that he will not have to make such an agreement. Okay, so for Bassanio's need, Antonio should not make such an agreement. He then says that he would remain. Okay, says I'll rather dwell in my necessity. He says that he would remain in his necessity. That means as poor as he is now. He doesn't have money. That's why he's asking, and he asked Antonio, and Antonio did not have money. So Antonio is asking Shylock to lend them the money. And Antonio remarks that he is ready to remain in his poverty as he is now, than sealing or than allowing Antonio to sign such a treacherous bond. Okay, so Bassanio says he would remain as poor as he is now and do without his wants supplied at such a price. That means this is a great price that Antonio has to pay. Okay, so that's why Bassanio remarks like this. Hearing this, what does Antonio reply? Why, fear not, man. I will not forfeit it. Oh, so Antonio said, why? Why are you afraid? Hey, don't worry, man. Fear not. I will not forfeit it. So he is so confident that he will not break the bond. He says, see, I am not going to forfeit it. That means he will not be giving the penalty. That means there won't be a condition in which Antonio should pay the penalty. That means before the specified time, Antonio will be able to give back or return the money that Shylock is giving. That's why confidently he says, why, fear not, man. I will not forfeit it. Within these 2 months, that's a month before this bond expires. So he says within 2 months. So he's so confident that he says within these 2 months, that is a month before the bond expires. The bond expires only in the third month. That means the last day of the third month. So he says he doesn't want 3 months. Within 2 months only, he will be able to repay the money. Okay, that's a month before this bond expires. I do expect return of thrice 3 times the value of this bond. So what is the value of this bond? 3,000 ducats. And he says that he expects to return thrice 3 times. So 3 into 3. 3 threes are 9. So 9 into 3. 9 into 3,000. So 27,000. 27,000 ducats he will get. Or he says that when his ships will be coming back within 2 months, and he will be able to give even 27,000 ducats. So why to fear? I do expect return of thrice 3 times. 3 into 3, 9. Then 9 times the value of the bond. Okay, so see the next part. Shiloh. Oh, Father Abraham, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them suspect. Then thought of others, pray you, tell me this, if he should break his day, what should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? So he says, O Father, holy Abraham. So we have learned that Abraham is the father of their nation, or father of Jewish nation. So he, he just calls, oh Father Abraham, what these Christians are. So he says that what these Christian men are, I can't understand. Okay, this is what he says. And whose own heart dealings teaches them suspect. So according to Shylock, the Christians are okay, they have sharp dealings, and that make them, because they are like that, so that's why this make them suspect others also. Okay, so whose heart dealings teach them suspect the thought of others. So according to Shylock, the Christians are very sharp in their dealings, and this make them suspect the thought of others, the intention of others. Pray you, tell me this. Okay, I request you, I beg you, tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain? So he asks, okay, suppose Antonio breaks the bond. Break his day means break the bond. That means if Antonio is not able to give back or return the bond money, what should I gain? So Shylock asks them what he will get and what is the gain in taking the penalty. What should I gain by the exaction of the forfeiture? That means he asks them what he will get if he take the penalty. You know what's the penalty? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not estimable, profitable neither as flesh of muttons, beeves, or goats. So he says, so he has a justification. See how he justifies. So he says, see, why should I take the penalty, and what is the use, and what use is that for me? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not estimable. That means it is not at all valuable. Okay, it is not at all valuable, and then or it is not profitable. It's neither valuable nor profitable. Then and he says it's not profitable or valuable as flesh of muttons, beefs, or goats. You know that. Okay. Flesh of goat, sheep, all this are very valuable. Is it? Yes. So he says man's flesh is not as valuable as mutton, beef, or goats. Then why should I take a man's flesh? This is what he asks. I say, to buy his favor, I extend this friendship. If he will take it, so if not, adieu. Okay, so he says, or Shylock tells this just to gain the favor and friendship of Antonio. So he says that he just want to be friends with Antonio and Bassanio, and he needs their love. That's why he offered to help them. And for my love, I pray you wrong me not. So he says, if he will not accept it, okay, all right. If you will take it, so if not, adieu. So he says he offered this just to get the love and friendship of Antonio, and if he will accept, then it's all right. Otherwise, goodbye. Adieu means goodbye. And for my love, I pray you, wrong me not. So he says, anyway, even if he accept the offer or not, Shylock asked Antonio not to wrong him. Okay, that's what. Because he was just offering this out of his love for him. Antonio, yes, Shylock, I will seal unto this bond. So Antonio says, yes, Shylock, I'm ready to sign such a bond. See, Shylock, then meet me forthwith at the notary's. Okay, then meet me there at the notary's office. Notary, the legal officer, or we can say a simple word, lawyer's office. Then meet me forthwith at the notary's office or lawyer's office. Give him direction for this merry bond. And he again Shylock reminds Antonio that he should give direction to write this merry bond. And again he refers to that as a merry bond. That means he says that, oh, we are friends now. Okay, we'll just write for fun. That's what he says. And I will go and purse the ducats straight. See to my house left in a fearful guard. So he says, okay, he asks Antonio to go to the lawyer and give him instructions to write the bond or this legal document. And by the time he will go home, Shylock will go home and take the money, purse the ducats straight, get the money, get the 3,000 ducats and come to the notary straight. And then he also want to see to my house left in the fearful guard. So he says that he has left the house in a fearful guard. That means he is not confident, or he says that the person whom he has left the house on, okay, is not a reliable person. Okay, who is that? Do you remember? Okay, Lancelot. So, Lancelot is his servant. And so, he says that he has left his house in the fearful guard. Okay, so according to Shylock, Lancelot is such a careless fellow, and so he is fearful about that, about the safety of his house. So he has to go immediately to his house and see how his house is. That means he has left to an unreliable person. See to my house left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave, and presently I will be with you. Of an unthrifty knave. Okay, so he says that he's a wasteful fellow. He has entrusted the house in the unsafe charge of an unreliable person, unthrifty knave, and presently I'll be with you. Immediately I'll join you, or I'll be with you. So Shylock tells uh, tells Antonio to go to the lawyer and ask him to write the document in the way Shylock has told him, and very soon he will be there with the money. I hope you understood. Okay, we'll go to the next part. Antonio, hey, the gentle Jew. So he says, Antonio says, okay, Jew. See, every time he calls Jew, Jew. I don't think it is nice, no? Okay. Not he Antonio is not calling him by name, he's calling by the name of his tribe, is a Jew. Okay. Hey thee, that means okay, hurry. Gender Jew, exit Shylock. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind. So Antonio makes a funny comment. What is that? The Hebrew will turn Christian. Now, according to Antonio, Hebrews or the Jewish people are not kind because they take a high rate of interest from people, and money lending is their business. So he says the Hebrew here means another word for Jew. The Hebrew will turn a Christian. The Hebrew, okay, the Jew will be a Christian, because what is the reason? He says he is becoming kind. He is becoming a kind person. Yes, I like not fair terms and a villain's mind. So what does Bassanio remark about this? So Bassanio says, I see, I do not like, clearly, I do not like to trust. I do not like to trust the kind words of a villain, because in the heart of hearts, Shylock is a villain. Only in words he is very good, is it? Outwardly he is pretending, or he is pretending to be a kind person, but actually he is a villain. That's what Bassanio says. Bassanio says that he does not like to trust the kind words uttered by whom? Uttered by one with the mind of a villain. So that's what he says. I like not fair terms and a villain's mind. So what did you understand from that? Bassanio says that he does not like to trust the kind words uttered by one with the mind of a villain. Who is here with the mind of a villain? Yes, Shiloh. Antonio. Come on. In this, there can be no dismay. So, Antonio does not have any fear or any confusion. Hey, come on, man. You should not be afraid. There is nothing to worry about. That's what. There is no reason to feel dismay, that is, to fear. In this, there can be no dismay. My ships come home a month before the day. So Antonio is overconfident. He says that my ships come home a month before the day. That means a month before the day. Third, they have 3 months time. And Antonio says that after 2 months, that is a month before the day, his ships will come back, his argosies will come back, and he will have a lot of money. So it will be very easy for Antonio to return the money to Shiloh. So we can see here that Antonio is overconfident and he's generous. Okay, so he is ready to sign in the treacherous bond that Shylock makes. Okay, so what does Shylock, or why does Shylock insist on a pound of Antonio's flesh in the bond? Which aspect of his character is shown in his absurd demand? Okay, what is that? Shylock insists on a pound of Antonio's flesh for what? To take revenge on him and to put him completely at his mercy. So Shylock's hatred for Antonio and the Christians is shown in this absurd demand. Okay. See, before Shakespeare's time, there was uh, the persecution of Jews by the Christians. That means the Christians were persecuting the Jews. So that's why Shylock is having hatred to the Christians. Okay, I hope you understood this part. Only very little portion I took today. Please, children, please read the text and then read the workbook. Now this third scene is over. Our first term portion is over. Third scene is over. I want you to read the third scene from the text. You have to be thorough with the text. Then only, suppose the speech of as Shylock or Antonio will be asked, and then the question will be what did Bassanio reply, like that. So if you don't read the textbook, you won't be able to answer that question. Okay, so read thoroughly, and then okay, children, we'll see in the next class. And okay, I'll tell you something about the textbook and workbook. I hope everybody has the poetry text and short story. Okay, together one small text and 3 workbooks. You should have poetry workbook, short story workbook, and Merchant of Venice workbook. Principal told us that they will be, or the school will be sending back the textbooks, the remaining text and workbook to the company. So if you don't buy, you will not get. Okay, don't think that okay, when the school reopens we will get the book. Do you think like that? Please get the book if you have not bought. And about the total English textbook also, okay, they are going to send the books back to the company. So please, those is there anyone who had not bought, please buy it as early as possible. Okay, children, we'll see in the next class.